Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a Power Fist Assault build for Space Marine 2 patch 10.3. Now, the Power Fist is the strongest melee weapon in this game, and today I'll be using a Block Fist because the damage on this version is simply absurd, and even though it has a 4 cleaving potential, this really doesn't matter all that much because often you won't really have to deal with that at all outside of things like Siege Mode, and even on Siege Mode, having this 17 strength on top of Adrenaline Surge stacks is just incredibly valuable to us. Now, for the perks on this thing, I do take Perpetual Strength first, moving here into the perk Heavy Preparation. Heavy attack preparation time is reduced by 30%, applies to the following attacks: Thrust Jab, Back Fist, Hammer Hook, Back Fist 2, and Thrust Jab 2. Without this perk, your heavy attacks take forever to come out, and heavy attacks are pretty much all that matters on the fist anyways, which is why our 1+ speed here hardly matters in the first place, so I pretty much always take this perk. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength. Moving up here to Perpetual Strength once again for a flat 10% melee damage bonus. Then I pick up the perk Focused Intention. Survive things to pick up and execute, and getting below 30% while you're charging will happen occasionally, so super valuable perk to us. Pretty much always grab this one if you actually can. When your health is below 30%, you take 50% less health damage while preparing heavy attacks. You will be preparing heavy attacks all the time on this weapon, and a 50% health damage reduction is incredibly valuable. Often, you will be dropping below 30% while charging. This will allow you to survive to actually get the execute. Super valuable perk. Pretty much always grab this one. And the next two perks I grab are Tide of Battle, which actually increases our forward thrust jab wave from 10 to 20 meters, not 4 to 8. The description is actually wrong. And the next perk here is Following Blow. Back Fist and Back Fist 2 can be performed instantly after a charged thrust jab or hammer hook. This can really help you pick up executes because currently the overcharge perk is bugged on Assault to not actually function with the Power Fist. So to actually hit the breakpoint, this perk can occasionally be necessary. Next perk here is Strength of Will for 20% range damage reduction while charging our heavy attacks here. So this actually does stack with Focus Intention as far as I know, so a very strong combination here. And the final two perks are Combo, which really doesn't matter at all, and Majora's Slayer, which is a nice 10% damage buff versus Majora's. And that's pretty much all there is for the Power Fist. Now you could use the Balance Fist if you want. I will say I would build it exactly the same way, but that's really up to you. Now, for the secondary weapon, I do once again take the fabled Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol. This weapon has top-tier CHP recovery, stagger, damage. The only thing holding it back is ammo economy. Listen guys, you watch my videos, you know this is the best one in the game currently. Really helps out the Assault class, especially versus Chaos, and with the perk over here, Defense Mechanism, contested health fading 50% more slowly, you have a very easy time surviving, getting all of that CHP back versus bosses and things like that. Really powerful weapon. For the perk tree here, I would just build down the top row for ammo economy and pick up Divine Might for a 10% damage increase. Now for our class perk tree here, I do pick up Armor Reinforcement first. Non-finisher gun strikes restore 1 armor segment. This perk is simply incredible versus both Tyranids and Chaos. It is obviously better versus Tyranids because they just have way more melee guys to perfect dodge, but even with the new Chaos spawn, you have a lot of opportunities to get your armor back, and this one can really save your life. Now the perk up here, Overcharge, what I would usually take, but unfortunately it is currently bugged on the Assault class like I mentioned before, unlike the Prestige perk on the Bulwark class, so I kind of do just pick this one up instead. Next perk here is Defense Mechanism. Contested health fades 50% more slowly. This perk was added to the Assault class in patch 9.0. It is one of the best options of any perk in any row. Really powerful option to keep you alive. It really helps your CHP recovery, and really survivability is all this class is lacking in a lot of cases, so having this really does fill out that gap. Next perk here is Knowledge of the Enemy. Melee damage increases by 15% against Majora's or Extremis level enemies. This is really good for the Power Fist because you don't actually light attack and trigger perks like Active Attrition all that often. This free melee damage buff is very useful. Now, alternatively, you could pick up Perseverance. While performing charge attacks, you take 25% less health damage and do not lose control upon taking heavy hits and cannot be knocked back. This is not bad by any means. I think this one's just overall better. Next perk here, Strategic Strikes. All of your squad members deal 20% more melee damage against Extremis and Terminus level enemies. This helps a lot versus Terminators and stuff like that. Obviously, if you want to take Proven Efficiency, you can do that too, but I really do like the breakpoints. This can occasionally help you reach, so I prefer this one. Next perk here, Smiting Angel. Ground Pound's damage increases by 25%. I think this is one of the best perks in this row now. Really, having that extra AoE for Zealous Blow helps a ton, and having this 25% damage buff can really help you pick up the kills to actually trigger the CDR in this, so really good combo here. Next perk here is Zealous Blow. A ground pound kill restores jump packs charged by 10%. This perk simply enables your jump pack to get so much extra usage. The CDR you get off of this versus both Tyranids and Chaos is top tier, so I pretty much always pick this up, and is by far the best perk in this entire row. Next perk here is Pride and Duty. After a finisher, ground pound deals 25% more damage for 10 seconds. I prefer this one over the perk here, Diligence, because Diligence is bugged, I believe, to not function with Adrenaline Surge stacks, which does suck, at least for your ground pound. And the perk up here can be triggered very easily and helps you hit some breakpoints. And the final perk I grab is Ample Ammunition. Any use of jump pack reloads the equipped ranged weapon, increases its damage by 50% for 10 seconds. A 50% damage buff on using your jump pack with the amount of CDR you're getting from Zealous Blow is exceptional. Really boosts your DPS, especially if you need to like hit a breakpoint on a Terminator or something that you just landed on. Really powerful for that. I really do prefer this one, though I will say if you want to take commitment to actually use your jump pack dash, even with this build, you can definitely do that instead, because this perk is still pretty powerful, though to be honest, it should be built into the base class. Now, for the prestige perks here, I do take Unyielding Oath first. When charging a ground pound, you become invulnerable for 3 seconds. This perk is simply incredible. The amount of value you can actually get out of this is top tier for sure, because being able to dive through a Neurothrope wave, through the Terminator Soul Reaper cannons, and just missiles and stuff like that, there's so much stuff that will shoot you while you're in the air, and it's just for boost as a problem entirely, so great perk for sure. Next perk here is Adrenaline Boost. After a perfectly timed parry, block, or dodge, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. This perk is a total enabler for any build on the Assault class. I pretty much take this on all of them now, and really, ever since they added this to the Assault, he's been in a much better spot. Final 2 perks I grab are Fortitude for a health increase of 15%. This is a pretty boring perk effect, but 15% increased HP really helps your survivability quite a bit. And the final perk is either Practice Aim or Scramble Targeting. Now, Scramble Targeting says if you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 20% less damage from range attacks. This is really good versus Chaos, because 20% less damage from range attacks is quite a useful option, and being surrounded by 5 or more enemies happens all the time in this game versus both Tyranids and Chaos. And the final perk you could grab instead is obviously Practice Aim. Range damage increases by 15%. Pretty self-explanatory, but this one can help occasionally, but that's up to you. That's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. I do think the Power Fist build is still the overall best on the Assault class, though obviously you don't just have to play this all the time. If you want to use the balanced one, like I said before, you could do that instead. And the fencing one, I really don't think is worth using at all in this game, because the 9+ speed benefit just does not help the Power Fist at all, and you really miss out on a ton of breakpoints and horde clear potential the balanced or the block fist would give you. But that's pretty much all for this one, guys. Hopefully this build guide helped, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye. The yellow, the Bumblebee guys. Yeesh, far but not far. Pretty far, yeah, you know. Past the holidays. Oh, indeed. Did you know they said they don't even know, they don't have any plan, I should say, for the Tech Marine launch. Instead it'll sort itself out. That was the actual developer interview they had. So, like, as far as the class restriction problem, they have no plan whatsoever. They're just leaving it there. Don't rant about that. They often do. It was yesterday that I first realized that holding the challenge heals you over time. 1,300 hours in. It is one of the things that makes this map a little easier to solo.
Chains of the war been feeblest. No heretic to fight. Scarab of war like silver.
I have said sides were good, it doesn't look cool. I have 2 weeks of 40k experience. In tabletop or just in general?
I will carry the relic.
It was kind of scary how fast this year flew by. It did fly by pretty fast. I'm always surprised though. Actually no, it's felt incredibly long for me. What am I saying? It felt like unbelievably long.
Faith is eternal.
Like 1 year ago, it feels like an absolute eternity.
Looking around
overall, mainly this game. It's a good game.
All specs ready to scan.
Got on market how you can. TikTok is popular. I've never used TikTok. I could post my shorts there, I guess, but Mel's was pretty fun this class. Yeah, it is. So tell me, chat, what is the single piece of 40k media you are most looking forward to right now? Game, television show, potential movie. I doubt we ever get a movie, but Astartes 2. It's a fair answer. You know, I heard some guy going off in chat the other day about like how Astartes 2 looks like absolute shit, and they should just let the Warhammer Plus shows be all that's left on 40k. That's gonna be on Warhammer Plus anyways. So I'm like, what the fuck is this person talking about? I want to see what Cavill is up to. We're never getting that Henry Cavill 40k. We will, it just won't. It'll take a while. Alright, let's go over here.
The relic from the altar will restore the vile darkness here.
Alright. Let's pop us on the center.
The relic is in place. Head to the consoles.
Connecting to console. Transmission
I will restore this console.
interaction with the tactical console terminated. Insta has left.
Dark Heresy? I'm pretty gassed for Dark Heresy. I hope it's good. Dark Heresy could be like the best property we've ever had in 40k, at least for table DRPG. Hell, they could make an animated 20-part series in each Primarch origin story and break the bank. One Eye is the best story right now. Henry Cavill getting the money and making a show. I mean, they would be foolish to not like take full advantage of the fact that Henry Cavill wants to work with them, right? I want Space Marine 3, but it's going to be good if they learn from Space Marine 2. That's probably me mostly an asset flip. I don't think that's a bad thing. I just want more. I fear whatever Cavill's doing will dip way too deep into humanizing the 40k universe. Lothar Zebi, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Emotes are coming one day. I promise. We swear. But the 40k universe is making it about the human stories. What I love about Star is that it explicitly does the opposite thing about the 40k universe is the exploration of the inhuman aspects of it for me. I feel like the Henry Cavill show is just going to be a very basic story for 40k. Because it's going to be the first time they get anything. I mean, it's an Amazon show, first of all. So just think like the Fallout show. It didn't go that deep. They might allude to some stuff, but we'll see. Just make sure that Zack Snyder doesn't get anywhere near Warhammer. That was the dumbest shit ever. Like, I cannot believe they had Zack Snyder be the guy for DC. That dude has never made, like, a properly amazing film. A lot of chaos spawn like that. Jesus. Just do for this. Nah, Batman vs Superman is actually solid. The theater release wasn't his full vision. Yeah, well, I saw his full vision. It still sucked. There's a reason that movie, that entire thing got canned.
Somehow, the relic Alex
He really does look like a lion, but obviously the physicality and muscles wouldn't work. Dude is pushing 90. Who are we talking about for a second? Charles Dance. That is true. He does look like the lion. Charles Dance is a very good actor. Does blocks as balance matter for the fist weapons? It definitely does, because if they hit different breakpoints. Block has the best ones. Cavill over Snyder. Oh, Cavill's a goat.
This battle will live on in the annals of the chapter.
Alright guys, I'm drinking water.
Enjoy the inevitable victory.
Anthony Starr for who? Anthony Starr is Sanguinius. Adam Driver is Horus. Alright guys, alright. Here's an idea for both chats. What actor would you want to play every Primarch, but you can only pick from A-list? They gotta be famous, okay? Can't be some niche actor. You're also required to use Dwayne Johnson and Jim Carrey. Dwayne Johnson is Perturabo. Jim Carrey as Zinch. The Rock for Perturabo would be hilarious. Get mopped. Chris Hemsworth as Lehman Russ. That would actually work. Jim Carrey is Magnus the Red. Bruce Willis as Dorn. Keanu Reeves as Corvus Corax. Mel Gibson as the Lion would be fucking hilarious. Hold on, no, Mel Gibson as... Who could it be? Batista as Angron, Jim Carrey as Lorgar, Vin Diesel as Angron, Christopher Walken as Rogel Dorn. That would actually be pretty good. It's got, yeah, you have to use Jack Black. That's a good idea, Darian. The Rock is obviously Vulcan. That's funny. It'd be funnier to make him like...
Of will that disrupts the altar. We must stay by it until we
Kevin Bacon as Erebus. That would be pretty fucking hilarious. Stanley Tucci as Lorgar would be pretty funny. Johnny Sins as Horus. Danny DeVito as the Emperor of Mankind. We're cooking, chat. We're cooking with this one.
The land route, we cannot make it to that altar with a land like this. We have our path to the next altar.
Hey, we're in. Jack Black as Malkador. Oh yeah, who's playing Sanguinius? It's gotta be kind of like, let's assume, you know, we're going for a comedy movie here, so like Sanguinius' death has to be pretty memeable. Adam Sandler versus Jim Carrey. Like Jim Carrey is Horus and Adam Sandler is Sanguinius. And Danny DeVito is the Emperor.
We must remove his shield from our way if we are to eliminate this sorcerer.
No, The Rock, the first Kevin Hart as Alfarius. Steve Buscemi as Conrad Kurd. Oh, what about like Steve Buscemi as who's playing Mortarion? I haven't seen that yet. I can't read them all. Jared Leto as Sanguinius. It's Morbin time. That's clever.
Wait for the eyes to reappear, then we strike.
Yeah, but not the football. So Tom Brady as Sanguinius, but not the football Tom Brady, the Mortal Kombat pro player Tom Brady. It really is tragic that guy happened to be named Tom Brady. That like no one will ever find his Mortal Kombat channel because every time you ever type in Tom Brady,
Let us no longer suffer the existence.
just find him. And Kane, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. Michael Sarah as Sanguinius is foul. Serious, thank you very much, Kane. If you guys have not seen Kane, he also streams Space Marine 2 quite regularly.
And it is by our hands. Now we deal a blow to
Nicolas
all of
Cage
that
as
heritage.
Mortarion.
Telesur
Well, actually, Nicolas Cage has gotta be a Primarch. I don't know if Mortarion is it, though. I suck watch him, not me. You know, it's just a fun game to talk about 40k in. It's not about being good all the time. I mean, I haven't even sold Vortex. Actually, I only sold Vortex once so far. We're just chilling. We're in FTG retirement home. We're 28 now. We can't do solos anymore. I have my moments. Robert Downey Jr. Isn't Mortarion supposed to be chopped? All right. Well, who do we got? Steve Buscemi is Mortarion then. Sorry, Steve. James Earl Jones as Manus. Hold on. They call him the Red Giant. Who would it be? Dave Bautista is Magnus the Red.